Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode 144. Help! My Facebook ads aren't working. If you're watching me on video, don't mind me. My cat is hanging out with me today while I'm recording. Are your ads not working? Have you run ads and then suddenly they've stopped working? You just don't know what's gone wrong or what's happening. This is not an exhaustive list or diagnosis of your particular account by any means. There's just no way I could do that on one podcast episode. But I do want to give you some common things that go wrong in meta ad accounts. And maybe one of these things is what is going wrong with your current ads. If you run your own ads, if you like to listen to my episodes and DIY your own ad strategy, I applaud you. If you can learn to run your own ads, it's a valuable skill to have for growing your e-commerce store. But as you probably have discovered, a massively time-consuming activity. More than anything, if you're going to run your own ads and learn about ads on Facebook and Instagram, you need some significant hours in your week to dedicate to the learning and the practice and the implementation of the strategies that Meta teaches, as far as like what they want you to do to perform. And also, if you have courses or if you've listened to other podcasts like myself or other people talk about ads, the things they talk about, you need that time to dedicate to the craft. Hey, what's the very next step for you in growing online? If you have an e-commerce store or you're looking for clients, you have a service-based business, you can reach out to me for one-on-one support on a project-by-project basis. I'm like an anti-agency, little mini agency on my own. I don't offer long retainer packages for brand new clients. I want you to feel confident. Well, in 2024, my revenue that came directly from email marketing was 36% of my whole revenue across the year. And my revenue for 2024 was increased 30% on 2023 results. So I'm definitely in a good position to support you. I've been told I'm the baby budget Facebook ad specialist because I can work with a very small daily budget or a large daily budget. It's really dependent on what you're looking for as a business and what your immediate goals are, that I can guide you on what is the best path towards success for your business. You can reach out to me at AussieOnlineGrowingOnShopify.com.au. In fact, you can actually put an appointment straight in my calendar. We can chat about your business for like 25 minutes about what struggles you're having, what your immediate goals are, kind of the stage of business you find yourself at. I'm really excited to have the potential to work with you. I encourage you to head to the website where you can book yourself a free discovery call and we can chat about how I can support your business in getting the results that you need to grow online next. But if you don't, and if you only sort of dabble in ads for yourself and you've done it a few times and you're not sure and you maybe turned them off since because you're struggling and not sure what's going wrong, perhaps this list will give you some ideas of some things that may have been going wrong. It might give you the confidence to go back to your ad account again and try some things. Otherwise, please reach out to me, book yourself a discovery call. Let me look after your ad account for a month and get you some great insights and data and some feedback and some results on what does well for your ad account and how to improve it and to get you more customers and to grow online. I'm going to go through these pretty quick because I have a lot of them. Well, there's 9, but there's like big topics. These are each big meaty topics. I could do an episode on each of these things for real, and I might have to. I might have to do that. It's probably a good idea. So if I'm skimming through these really quick, I apologize. This is not going to be the finite resource for you in diagnosing what's going wrong in your ad account, but it will give you some idea and some direction. And some of these might just click for you. You might listen to some of these and be like, that is absolutely what happened with my ads, and it might help unlock an issue that you are having. First one, number 1, budgets and objectives matter. The objective you're running in ads and the budget associated with the objective matters. You can spend too little on a purchase conversion campaign. You can spend too much on a retargeted campaign that's sort of going after your warm traffic, the people who've been on your website or people who've engaged with your social media accounts. You can spend too much on them and you can spend too little on other traffic or other users, like a purchase conversion campaign. So the budget you have per day matters and the objectives you are running matter. The budget you have per day matters because of the goal you want as a business. You can spend a small amount per day. You can spend a huge amount per day. But each of those things means success in different ways. I'm going to talk about that in another episode coming up. So I want to go through the marketing funnel in a bit more detail based on how much you spend per day. I did an episode about it a couple of weeks ago. I think it was called How to Spend $15 per day on Meta or $150 per day on Meta. And this sort of point is a similar thing. The budget you run per day and the objectives you have does matter. Number two, creative fatigue and creative variety make a difference. You can have too little creative. You can never have too much creative. You can have too much creative for the budget you're spending per day, but that's not an issue in the sense that it just takes a long time for the results to come through. You've got to let Meta spend enough across a lots of ads if you're spending a small amount per day. But in that sense, you can't have too many ads. You potentially just have too small a budget to match it. But you can absolutely have too few ads. 100% you can have too few ads. And I see this a lot with my clients' accounts. If I come and take over an account that they have had previously, someone who's run it is too little creative. And this stops all of us in our tracks. Unless you're a content creator or an influencer and you love to do this stuff, this stops all of us in our tracks. This is the biggest hurdle in 2025 to success on Meta. 100% is finding the energy and the time and the resources to create enough creative to put inside your ads for Meta to use. Meta needs a wide variety so it can target different users at different stages of their buying journey. We used to be able to have one campaign, one ad set, one ad for a purchase conversion campaign, and you could let that run for weeks sometimes. Simply in 2025, like simply not possible at all. It just won't work. You need to have a variety of ads inside one ad set when you're running purchase conversion traffic. If you're looking for high quality traffic, high intent traffic, you want Meta to find people who are willing to spend money online to get them to your website to buy your products, then you need to offer a variety of images, videos, carousels in the feed that Meta can swap out and change and match that particular type of creative with that particular user. Number three is a little bit like number one, which is don't circle the drain. It talks about retargeting traffic. I wanted to include this point because if you listen to my podcast through 2024 at all, if you didn't, I encourage you to go back and listen to it. From about July onwards, I spent a significant amount of time on lead generation. In fact, I have lots of podcast episodes all about lead generation. This is my attempt to fix the problem I was having in my own store where I had far too many returning customers. My returning customer rate was 80%, which is way too high. It's now down to 35%. I'm much happier now. But Meta has actually played a large part in getting that returning customer rate down. And I'll tell you why. If you haven't set up your audience segments inside Meta, in fact, you probably haven't because I hadn't till last year. You'll find it on the left-hand side. If you're looking at Ads Manager on the left-hand side under advertiser settings and then audience segments, you need to give Meta ideas or parameters of who is engaged and who is existing. The reason this helps you is when you look at your ads, if you're going to analyze a suite of campaigns or a suite of ads, you can actually break down the spend by audience segments. I did this. This is the reason why I genuinely believe my returning customer rate has dropped, and Meta is now finding me new customers instead of circling the drain on my existing customers. When I think back to how much I spent through the early parts of 2024, hitting the same customers again and again that I already had, had already purchased once, and Meta was just spending all my money there. It makes me a bit mad actually because I think Meta it was such a waste of money in my budget. But I didn't realize that Meta was skewing my campaign so far to the existing customers, and yours might be too. So if you sort of feel like you do get sales come through, Meta's happy to take your money, but you're not seeing new faces. Like when you look at orders come through, you're like, okay, there's a lot of customers I recognize, which is great. Oh, I'm not saying that's not good, but you don't want to be spending money. You want to be giving money to Mark Zuckerberg and saying, find me customers on Meta for him to go and just find the people who bought from you a year ago and spend the money there. Because there are other ways you could contact and reach out and be in touch with those customers now instead of Meta spending all of your hard-earned dollars and your advertising budget on your existing customers. So I encourage you to go set up some audience segments inside your ad account. It's not a setting in the ad. It won't be a setting you actually do inside an ad. It's in your advertiser settings. So it's an account setting, which means then it will give you the feedback on the data across all of your ads. You'll be able to see all of your ads and where the money's being spent, and quickly identify if a lot of your budget is going to existing or engaged users or new. This will help you feel like it'll help you better with your retargeting, to know if you're spending too much on a retargeting campaign, or if Meta is even looking for new people for you, or it's just circling the drain on your existing customers again and again and again. It's a really valuable piece of data, and I credit just setting up this one thing as one of the reasons why I was able to finally get my returning customer rate on Shopify down to a more reasonable, sustainable level that helps me grow the business, instead of like my poor customers who keep seeing my stuff again and again. I'm going to fly through the rest because I took far too long on the first 3 points already. I'm realizing. Number 4, metrics tell the story. They always tell the story. Look at as many metrics as you possibly can, set up your own columns and look at the individual metrics. I have an episode about the metrics that I think are important, so I'm not going to go into those today unless I do a whole separate episode on these points, which the more I'm talking to you and I'm looking at the time I go along, I'm realizing I probably do need to do a whole episode on each of these points. Number 5, audience size and strategy. Advantage Plus shopping is the way we are moving people. Since Meta did their giant AI update a few months ago, we are all moving towards more AI-driven algorithms on Meta. That's the way the platform is going. We need to work with it. So since then, Advantage Plus shopping is kind of the gold standard as far as the type of campaign we should be running as an e-commerce store. However, it doesn't work for everybody. And I've talked about that in episodes before. It doesn't work for everybody. It could cost you a fortune. You may find your cost per purchase skyrocket with Advantage Plus shopping. If it is, I encourage you to turn it off and then to shelve the idea completely. Go build yourself a detailed campaign, like a detailed interest. Go and target some people based on an interest group, or a broad campaign, and let Meta do Advantage Plus audience, but then turn off some of the other settings so that it's not an Advantage Plus shopping campaign. All of that is sort of in the background. Please reach out to me if you want some support with that sort of setup and things. I can set up some sort of campaign like structures for you that will help you understand the differences and help you test a bit better. If you have a lot of creative you want to be testing, but you're just not sure what sort of settings you should be doing and the exclusions and the different ins and outs of the campaign background, like reach out to me for a discovery call. We can chat and let me do that for a month for you and get these things built out so you can kind of dive in yourself and start launching some ads to test and get yourself some customers, because I understand all of this stuff takes time. If you haven't set up a lot of this background tech stuff, if you haven't looked at the different campaign types and set them up or tested them against each other, then I understand that it's massively time consuming, which is why I'll probably do another episode all about it for those of you who listen to me who like to DIY the strategy stuff. Number 6, your pixel learning phase. If you are brand new to advertising, your pixel has no data yet. It needs to learn. That's the way Meta finds your people, is the data in the pixel. Pixel is a bit of code that sits on Meta and sits on your Shopify site. And it follows users all around the internet when they're on your website and on Meta, and it matches your business with them. That's the way Meta learns, is with the pixel and the data in the pixel. I had a 2.5 ROAS in July, which means return on ad spend, through July with my ads on Meta, which means for every dollar I spent in ads, I got back $2.50. And that's actually in no small part to the fact that I have been advertising for 4 years and my pixel has tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars through it in learning and data that Meta could just lean on. So it's not brand new. But if you are a brand new e-commerce store, if you're advertising for the first time, I applaud you. Please, this is great because this is where your customers are. Meta knows where your customers are. I guarantee you it does, 100%, no doubt about it. But your pixel, the little bit of data that sits on Meta and sits on your Shopify site, needs to learn, and it needs to collect data to learn. So if you have got a brand new pixel, you just might need to run different types of campaigns for the first few months until you sort of start to build up some data and some learnings before you dive headlong into it. So if you have a new pixel and you've been running purchase conversion campaigns and you find your cost for a purchase is like out of this world too high. It's probably just that it's a new pixel and the data is fresh. Meta's trying to work out what the heck to do. It may actually fix itself over time. But of course, you don't want to bleed cash in the meantime. Like, there's ways to solve this. Don't bleed cash in the meantime. Turn the campaigns off. If you're spending $100 for your first customer, but they're only spending $50 on your website, like, turn that off. That's no good. But there is reasons why, and it does actually make sense that Meta just needs that data to learn. So it might not actually be anything wrong with the ad. You might not actually be doing anything wrong. It might just be that you're a brand new business with a brand new pixel. Number 7, don't fiddle with your ads too soon. Stop turning things on and off. Leave them alone. This is funny. It cracks me up because I do this too. I've stopped myself doing this in my own account and my clients' accounts, like leaving data to let it ride for a decent period of time before making evaluations on the data and not on the feelings associated with the data. Ads need breathing space to find their feet, to be in enough people's social media feeds, to find traction, to get some people to click on them, and then to find people to add to cart, and then to find people to initiate checkout, and then finding people to purchase. All of that takes time. Depending how much you are spending per day will make a big difference in how long you can leave campaigns for before you start evaluating the metrics and turning things on and off. The same thing can be said for budget. Don't increase your budget too much. And by saying too much, 15% is what I like. I like to increase my budget by 15% if I see the opportunity to scale something. But don't do it every day, and then don't double your budget. Don't turn an ad off after 2 days because you'll reset the learning on the rest of the campaign. Like, don't fiddle around with stuff every day or even every 2 days. Set your campaigns, believe in the strategy you decided, like, back yourself, have some confidence in yourself that you're running a test, an experiment. You're giving Meta a budget to find something, to find some customers, to get you some data, to help you learn what to do next. Don't back out too quickly and start doing things feeling like that data is tanking or not going well when you haven't given it enough space or enough room to breathe. So I guess if you're looking for a time frame, this is tricky because it depends on how much you're going to spend a day and how big your audience is, really. But I would say give your ad 7 days. And 7 days because your ad might do well on a Saturday and terrible on a Wednesday. Your ad might do great on a Wednesday and terrible on a Sunday, but you won't know that until you let it run for 7 days. So that's my advice as far as a time frame goes, which is why if you want to be spending $100 a day, that can be a hard pill to swallow. You're like, you want me to give Meta $700 and just let it do its thing for a week? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, I really do. I'm afraid I do. But if that is completely unreasonable for you, then please go and listen to my episode about how to spend $15 a day instead of $150 a day. Because as we work towards Black Friday, you're going to need to be spending a whole lot more per day to even get into people's social media feeds. The competition will be fierce. Last Black Friday, I spent several $100s each day for about 2 weeks. And this year, I'd like to ramp up to, I don't know, actually, I haven't thought about the budget, but like many hundreds of dollars a day across Black Friday for the competition just to get into people's feeds. But at the same time, you can still succeed with $15 a day if you feel like your ads just aren't working, but maybe you're turning things on and off too quickly. Maybe they would have worked if you'd left them alone for a bit longer. Maybe you left them too long. Maybe you left one that ran for too long and spent hundreds of dollars and it's making the rest look bad. But maybe the rest weren't really bad. They just didn't have enough budget to really have enough data for you to evaluate. Anyway, next point. This is my last one. I'm on my last one. I'm doing well. Number 8, the website. What is your website experience? So this is a classic case of Meta ads aren't working, but maybe it's your website. Like, maybe Meta is getting you great qualified traffic and something is going wrong on your website. By wrong, I mean something like this. Not technically wrong, they couldn't buy, but if I see an ad on social media and I click to the website, let's say I saw a product, I want to land where that product is. Well, I don't necessarily want to. I'm not consciously thinking about it that much. I expect to land where that product showed me on the website. Subconsciously, I want my journey, my customer journey, to be continually affirmed yes, yes, yes. And I talked about this before in other episodes. Don't put unnecessary barriers in front of people. If you advertise a product on an ad, send them to that exact product so that the experience on the ad is the same in the website. So it confirms to them they're on the right journey. Doesn't sort of give people a reason to think, oh, where have I landed? Is this a dodgy website? Is this spam? Am I about to get hacked? This doesn't even look like the ad. So in that sense, I want you to be careful of trending ads. Don't spend money on your trending ads. If you have an ad go viral on Instagram, but it's not at all related to your brand, don't spend money advertising that and pushing it further, because the traffic you're going to get to that website, to your website, will be really junky because people are engaged with that content. But if it has nothing to do with your business, then you're not going to see the performance on that ad. It's not going to perform well for you. And you're going to wonder why. You're going to wonder why because the metrics on Meta are so incredible. Everyone sees it, everyone loves it, and everybody clicks on it. But what happens when they land on the website? Are they Do they see nice images and a video and some reviews and a bit of copy? Do they see user generated content? Do they see a frequently asked question? Do they see you have a free shipping threshold? All of that stuff we need to do around our conversion rate is important. And if you have a mismatch between the ads and your website, that could actually be the issue. It may not actually be that Meta is not getting you good quality traffic at all. It may be something's going wrong once they hit the website. So that's like a different issue altogether to solve. But it's actually far better to solve if your ads are performing well for you, and well as in like to look at the metrics objectively. If I was to look, I'd be like, yeah, that's an incredible campaign. It's doing so well. Why would you have turned that off? Because you couldn't see the results of the sales on the other end of it. But potentially there's something amiss on the website. There's a mismatch in the messaging between the ad and your website, or the wrong type of person. Maybe you're targeting the wrong person on the ad. It's sending the wrong type of person to the website. So maybe it's not really an ads issue, but it's actually something going wrong with your website. So that's the last point I wanted to share with you. Like if you look at the mobile view on your website, can you see everything clearly? Are the colors okay? Is there sort of nothing's covered up? If you have a pop-up, make sure it's not covering up your add to cart button. Make sure it's not stopping people from scrolling or moving on to the next step. All of those things, you just need to go through and do a bit of a user experience journey for yourself and click around and click through, give it to a friend or family member just to see that it's all a mismatch, it's cohesive. But keep it matching with your ads. Keep the branding, obviously the branding, that's so obvious, but I guess I'm just trying to say, make sure that whatever appears in an ad, that Meta is getting people to your website. Then don't let the website let you down. Like, make sure the website pulls its weight and does its bit to convert that user. Before you open your ad account and rage quit, start clicking things, turning them off, freaking out, yelling at Meta and Mark Zuckerberg. I hope some of these have given you some possible insights into what might be going wrong with your ads if you find that they're just not working, or at least giving you an avenue to explore. Like I said at the top of this episode, these are like talking points. That all the things I went through are like headings that I kind of quickly chatted about, and I could probably do an episode on each of them. But I hope it's given you something as an overview of some common things that go wrong with ads and ways to go and investigate what the issue might be and to fix it for yourself so that you can continue to grow online affordably, scale profitably, and get more customers. Hey, it's what we need, more customers, especially as we look towards Black Friday, man. Need more customers, more lead generation, more top of the funnel traffic, more email signups. I think I need to do an episode soon about Black Friday. We are getting there really quick, and we should all be in full swing as far as starting to find these people online and warm our traffic up, like warm our users online towards Black Friday, because we can convert many of them via email far cheaper than we will with ads during Black Friday. So let's start reaching out to cold traffic, brand new users, first time people who've never heard about our brand before, knowing that those people coming into our like flow and our world on social media and our Klaviyo list will be valuable to us later in the year. Have a great day, everybody. As always, in e commerce, hey, as we grow online, keep learning.